My first argument is against when my opponent stated that there's no such thing as global warming. He brought up a petition stating that this was true. The petition he was referring to is called the Petition Project. The Petition Project claims that 3,000 American scientists all signed a petition saying there's no such thing as global warming. According to skepticalscience.com, huffingtonpost.com, newsmax.com, and climatesite.org, just to name a few websites, they all claim that the Petition Project is a myth. In fact, the impacts of global warming are being felt across the globe. Global warming occurs when air pollutants collect in the atmosphere and absorb sunlight and solar radiation that have bounced off the Earth's surface. These pollutants, which can last for centuries in the atmosphere, trap the heat and cause the planet to get hotter, according to an article called Global Warming 101 by Amanda Macmillan. In the United States, the burning of fossil fuels to make electricity is the largest source of heat-trapping pollution, producing about 2 billion tons of CO2 every year. Global warming also comes with allergies, asthma, and infectious disease outbreaks will become more common due to increased growth of pollen-producing rageweed, higher levels of air pollution, and the spread of conditions favorable to pathogens and mosquitoes. Melting glaciers, early snowmelt, and severe droughts will cause more dramatic water shortages and increase the risk of wildfires in the American West. So because of all of these factors, all combined, gives us a stronger reason of why we need to figure out a solution to global warming, which, as I said in my first argument, is why we need to find a way to develop helium-3. For my second argument, the opponent states that the Space Treaty says the moon and other celestial bodies should be used for peaceful purposes. My opponent fails to define what he means by the word peaceful. If you type in peaceful on Google, the definition pops up which says, not involving war or violence. If the U.S. Space Treaty states the moon should be used for peaceful purposes, then by definition, it's stating to not involve war or violence. Mining the moon for minerals and water is not related to war or violence, and in fact, is simply trying to secure a definite future for all of mankind on Earth, not just benefiting the U.S. Mining the moon can also be a project for all countries to come together and solve a problem for all of us, in finding a solution to global warming, decrease in water, and running out of Earth minerals. Mining the moon doesn't only benefit the U.S., it benefits everyone all around the world. For my third argument, my opponent claims that helium-3 has a low concentration. Therefore, extracting helium-3 from lunar soil would be like extracting uranium from seawater. From 100 million tons of lunar rock per ton of helium-3 is what we would get from extracting helium-3 from the soil. In fact, in an article on explainingthefuture.com called Helium-3 Power Generation, claims just the opposite, and that the moon's surface is bombarded with thousands of tons of helium-3 just on the surface alone. In fact, the current nuclear fusion reactors that we use today to create energy are fueled by tritium and deuterium and lead to significant energy loss and are extremely difficult to contain. One potential solution may be to use helium-3 as the fuels in neutronic fusion reactors. The involved nuclear reaction here, when helium-3 and deuterium fuse, creates normal helium and a proton, which wastes less energy and is easier to contain. Nuclear fusion reactors using helium-3 could therefore provide a highly efficient form of nuclear power with no waste and no radiation. For my last argument, my opponent states that traveling to a far celestial body like the moon is not feasible and we should look to closer bodies. He claims that asteroids have the same minerals as on the moon. In an article called Meteoric Minerals, published by galleries.com in 2014, they say that the only minerals found on these asteroids are chondrites. There's a wide variety of chondrites, but the only use for these types of minerals are used as gemstones and as diamonds. In fact, the only most significant mineral we would use was purple sodium chloride, which is table salt. And these are found as in crystals in 2 meteorites. The salt contains tiny droplets of salt water, with some other elements dissolved in it. So this would be the only type of mineral that we would be able to use for human life, and it's a mineral that we have mass amounts of. We have our own salt water in all of the oceans here on Earth anyways, so mining these asteroids would be a waste of time.